Ugh.
Ah, Clive. I'd like you to take seeds. I'll keep, but a feast as if they've lived small. If you're so wait. There.
Gizal Green.
Not the most mouth-watering. Better that and chocolate.
Okay. Rekindling the flame tube. Deliver some seeds. That house is Lady Hannah's, right? If I remember correctly.
Ah, what brings you to...
A delivery.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought but they'd long since gone to seed.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and so that they'll be able to fend for...
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought... They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves, and unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity. It's about time we all started to provide. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides...
The Horde is closing in.
What? Does a
We're
horde come in?
Sir Wade.
Time it all. I thought we'd have...
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might...
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Though they may not be trained soldiers like your...
You're right, my lord. I will...
Shit, I'll fight with you.
My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
You sure you want to go into battle with the pan?
Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
All right. We've rallied the troops.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking...
Thanks to you.
Me?
Lord Rosfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves upon engaging with the Akashic. Each
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on by coordinating our withdrawal with luck, and for you and I to...
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerve. I'd say you have both in abundance, so wait. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! There.
Then you know what you must. We work together. Everyone, each shielding the other, that no man might fall. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
Yeah, baby. For Rosaria. Let's go.
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too, then, eh?
Right you are, Ma.
The calm before the storm.
Hello.
Here it comes.
I really love the Phoenix ability.
Not let this village fall. It's over. It's over.
All right. Easy enough.
Looks like that's the last of...
Lord Rosfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and his head...
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the work... I could order a detachment or two to fall back.
No, Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool...
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
I got this. Let's go. Let's just straight downwards, huh?
Next one's mine. I might...
Alright, let's keep going forward. Oh.
There it is. With me, Torgal.
Boom.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rosfield.
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for... I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved Thank you, my friend.
No, Sir Wade. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before, but now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, but there's no doubt in my mind we're free men now. We have to fight to protect what's ours. To protect...
And we shall. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to...
They'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get...
This village isn't gonna rebuild.
They're not slaves anymore.
No. Your father took pity on the bearer's and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what...
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade.
Oh, is
But
it?
you should be proud, or I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support,
Of course. And I'll be counting on yours. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, and
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you... I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds.
All right.
Lord Rosfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind? There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of since that day there have been more than a few times.
So
when I
long
felt
ago
like
now,
giving
isn't
up.
it?
When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may. But every time I would think back to the look in your eyes that to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage.
So wait. You have always been I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be...
And you have like genuine connection to these characters. And then whenever some heartfelt shit happens, that actually makes you feel emotional. Not a lot of games can pull that off, man. There's always like a disconnect between player and character and the relationship with that character to other characters. But this game really makes you feel like you are this character, and those connection between characters is connection to you as well.
Eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved East.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get take it before I change.
What is it?
Thank you, Moth.
So, Eastpool's finally back and a home to free bearers.
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different now. You know, bearers living free like that. Reminds me of when I first met Sid. Old as I am to recall that.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye.
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day. That whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings. It's almost in a... Anyway, better get back to work. Let's the least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me...
That sounds like a one.
Alright, mission complete. Rekindling the flame to... Oh. Ah, it goes to my chamber. Nice. Alright, let's head up to Northreach.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before.
Oh, Clive, my wards and I may soon be...
What's happened?
Wait, what happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up...
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial... Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military... a foundation upon which to build a new Sambre. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire.
He would rob the populace to...
Believe me,
Oh.
I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence?
How? By speaking out. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of snow. But given the mood of...
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal for your services to Northreach? You have the respect of the soldiers. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your... Well?
I'll see what I can...
Thank you.
Tell me then, in the garrison...
Overseeing the...
All right.
Alright. Under new management.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man. You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. I was hoping I might be able to speak.
We're under orders not to let any civilian... But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go...
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to... And I shall see... But tell me, is it wealth?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach...
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will rent, yet you needn't be. A proud pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under... But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles, which is more than can be said. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the... with Caer Morvant as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both, that we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do... If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning one whose authority is beyond question. That is why this... So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as... And yet, there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them...
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that? You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Who are you?
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
It's like, I'm out.
The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
As long as you remain, the veil.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me. Who is Sabine to you? Sabine like his daughter or something?
Right there.
Just your opinion. I wondered what you thought of the...
Not much. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital. And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Mm-hmm. So, they look to the dame for everything, really. Like, that's their real leader. Maybe the dame shall be in charge of Northreach.
Talk about it.
Officially.
Good, are we? Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He'd rather she was...
As far as I'm concerned, she just needs his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Alright.
A question. What do you think of the Duke of...
You build a life for yourself somewhere, Erling. If he thinks his name and will do whatever it...
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
You're the one who was talking to his
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but... It seems... What do you think of his plan?
I'm a soldier, mate. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the empire, but with my wife. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards...
Hmm.
I left everything.
As long as you remain, the veil will...
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence... Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all...
Something tells me that ain't gonna... That isn't what's gonna happen. Sanbreque will be back on his feet, and then the same thing will keep going, you know?
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your...
Well, he's made a lot... I mean, look around us. You can... The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure... And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
For you, certainly. Clive, thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could turn north.
Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty, thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak with...
I was.
It will certainly help to hold back the thralls, though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose words they deserve to be heard, Clive. To have...
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. And I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow them, and not just because of the Duke's rank.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about...
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those...
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for... We need to stand together. All with you to lead us, milady. It was you who finally... There's no point following orders if they go against...
Indeed.
All of us. That has always been Northreach's best hope. We have only to turn our attentions to... Thank you, Philippe, for showing me...
Anything for you. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around... I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind.
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Damn, Philippe.
There may be hope for Northreach, especially with men like you, and I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him, but I suspect I shall have to call upon your... Until then,
Until then?
Alright. There's some stuff going up here in Northreach, you know. I'm assuming there's gonna be a second one, it's gonna be under new management 2 or something later on. Alright, let's head down to Dalamil Inn. Oh.
Take that, you naughty thing!
Clive!
I just wanted to see how the town's been fed.
Since all is... And Chuck?
Are you a Lego?
Speaking of... Maybe a rather...
May therein.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their and they have formed what one could call and they grow more organized.
We'll fight them all off just like last time. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. The longer we avoid our best by finding perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid.
How...
Vic...
Lines in the sand.
What's the difference between a lord and a man?
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnes.
I did.
I've having what sent.
You're not. He asked, and he said,
Then you. There are more.
all right,
There's more.
leave it with.
I'm gonna heal myself.
Good girl.
Yeah!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers!
Now I'm gonna kill all y'all.
Take his head off!
Who the hell just healed you? Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, Jesus Christ. That sounded disgusting.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are... Ah, I see the...
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town, they're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape. And his escape route, some of the children spotted him, and he was about to... And when Lubor felled him, with a bolt and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is,
what?
If he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One...
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the...
You're right.
So Lubor is a bearer that's been hidden. Oh. Interesting.
And now I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, well, it was bound...
We're sorry, Lubor, but we just couldn't...
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are...
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change. We need to do something. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing is...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who... They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for them Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, I can't promise anything, but...
And that is all I can ask of you.
Damn.
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a...
You all along.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
I've seen you...
As have I, Lord Underhill.
That's right.
The rumors that he's a bearer...
He'll never be mayor now.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little lenience?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when...
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home?
Perhaps. That is a question. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Oh. Prejudice and racism. God damn.
The townsfolk have made their minds up.
Nor I.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
I assume this is...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime. I think it's fair.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some...
No. And your efforts would be
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a yourself be true. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, and so must I be. I must do what I know to be right. And now, I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dapper, only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to check.
I would not take it, Victor.
Over, you say. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the I thought you were better than this, but it seems you had me for...
Victor.
Forget it.
Are you sure you're making the right choice, Luke?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Right then.
If there's anything I can do,
I'll bear it in mind.
That sucks. This is his home. Ugh. And people really are a piece of shit in this world, aren't they?